because you are who?
I'm who? Why?
My friend, don't bring yourself.
What's the meaning of that?
What do you mean you are taking me on? What does that phrase mean?
You called us micro.
Why you are micro minority? Doesn't Afenyo himself use that phrase? Bring yourself. I don't have time for
Who's there with that?
You think you can bully me here? Hey, not this silly can come and bully me.
You heard the word she used. What called me silly? She called me silly.
Are you a silly child?
No. We will deal with this matter. You called me silly.
I don't have time for you.
Good enough. No. I'm not.
Did I mention your name? Why are you taking a hat on your head? Did I mention your name? You know you were fighting on TV about this your seat. You are coming to Felix over here. Did I mention your name?
You cannot call me silly.
Did I mention your name? Did I mention your name? You can carry a cross you want to carry. I'm going.
People are not recording.
This morning, we were on our usual duty on the appointment committee. There was some disagreement amongst us. So the respected First Deputy suspended sitting and we engaged. When we came back, minds were not meeting. So we suggested humbly to the First Deputy that we should further take a break. Speaker, I must fully disclose that the nominee who was before us, the Honorable Bawumia, is a long-time friend. So, in the face of the disagreement, I felt I should reach out to my friend and tell him that it's not personal, it's not about him. Only to have a rude shock of my life. And colleagues, we need to take these matters in good stride. We are all MPs. What has happened to me today can happen to any of you. A lady I have never met in my life, only later to be told she's called Victoria Emeafa Hardcastle, who is the acting chief executive officer for the Petroleum Commission. Speaker, I didn't say a word to her. I didn't provoke her in any way. Suddenly, insults were being hurled at me. Silly, stupid, useless. At a point, I thought they were referring to somebody. Why would I be abused to this extent? Where I haven't said anything. I haven't provoked you in any way. So, not to belabor the point, I feel my reputation is lowered by these attacks. People think they can subject Parliament and turn Parliament into a punching bag. This is unfortunate. And I'm told she's a lawyer. I was surprised the attitude she put out. Speaker, I am respectfully bringing this to your notice and further invite you, so pending the formation of the privilege committee, Speaker, I am inviting you and making pleadings to you. I'm humbly inviting you to make consequential orders and to ensure that this matter is dealt with ultimately.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the justified request made by the minority whip of conduct he feels damages his standing and reputation as an elected member of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, as I listen to him, we only can appeal to him that we share what the Honourable Member for Damangu said, that this House must stand united, indeed unanimous, in condemning the conduct and in demanding an apology and a retraction of it but to persuade our colleague not to pursue further, wanting this matter resolved at the Privileges Committee. Mr. Speaker, the mention of it even on the floor of this House will send some warning to the public and non-members of this House that the Parliament of Ghana is clothed with both penal and disciplinary powers vested in it by virtue of Article 122 of the 1992 Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, contempt, you have been a torchbearer of wanting to preserve the honor and dignity of Parliament, the honor and dignity of members of Parliament, and more importantly, the honor and dignity of our political class. So, to honorable members, we do not and we should not accept that conduct and that insult. Today it is him, tomorrow it may be you. That is why we must stand united in condemning it. But to honorable minority whip, I'm pleading with you that because it's a woman, and you know Ghanaian society and our patriarchal values, forgive her. But before the forgiveness, as the Honorable Doyo, the Deputy Whip said, leader, the Honorable Mahama Yarga, we should get the affected person to render an unqualified apology to the minority whip and follow with a retraction of the story.
Attention was drawn to the video. I was actually saddened. I wasn't angry, but I was actually saddened that a lady had behaved in that manner. Because here we are in Parliament pushing to implement affirmative action, where, if you recall, I spoke on the affirmative action the other day, and we're all trying to push for it, make sure that women in leadership, we raise the numbers, and that we recognize women in leadership, in Parliament and outside Parliament. So I was very saddened to see another woman actually who is going to take up a leadership role as a CEO of the Petroleum Commission, actually describing the Minority Chief Whip in that manner. When you get into the public space, when you become a public figure, you chose to become a public figure, and you have to watch your demeanor, your behavior at all times, wherever you find yourself, okay? So that's why I was saddened, because I was actually happy, yes, I was happy to see her appointment, that she had been appointed as the CEO of Petroleum Commission. I don't know the lady. I really don't know her. I've never spoken to her, but I was happy for her. Because here was a woman who was being appointed to a high position at the Petroleum Commission. So I was extremely happy. So that's why I was saddened to see what had occurred. We have to be a role model for our children, for the youth. So it is not, and that goes for all of us. So I believe that because they learned from us, they learned from you, they learned from me, they learned from all of us. We're role models. So we really have to take a step back, even under tension, take a step back, take a deep breath, and then control your reaction. There are chances where you want to flare up, but you have to remind yourself that people are watching, because now you're a public figure. It's very difficult, I find now, that when you're a public figure, because everybody is watching you, and so, but that's what you chose. You chose the service, the public service. So I would advise her as a fellow sister to apologize and to retract in the same manner where she voiced out her opinion or description. That's my advice to her. But I wish her well. I don't mean anything. I'm not trying to malign her at all. But we need more leaders. We need more women. We need more women in the leadership positions. We need more women, and we're fighting. And I will always fight to have more women in leadership positions.
Indeed, it wasn't pleasant, especially when our colleagues were only performing their duties as members of parliament. The incident is very regrettable, but I took consolation in the fact that my colleague confirmed that the individual involved actually approached and apologized profusely. Mr. Speaker, this individual is not one of the repeat offenders who denigrate Parliament repeatedly. So, Mr. Speaker, in brief, I was only going to say that I know my colleague, he's not a difficult person. And since the individual involved has apologized, I was just going to appeal to my colleague to let this matter rest. I'm sure the individual involved would have learned her lessons by now that when you come to Parliament on the invitation of Parliament. This is not a thoroughfare. You come here on the authority of Mr. Speaker. And when you come here, you must act in ways that actually protect the image of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, once again, my colleague has every right to pursue the path he wants to pursue. But I would once again appeal to him, since he has accepted the apology of the individual involved, let the matter rest here, and then we make sure that we work together. So once again, Honorable Annor Dompreh, the Minority Chief Whip, I want to take the opportunity to appeal to you to let the matter rest, and then we'll see what we can do together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The lady in question didn't try, because President Mahama admonished all of us to give him position in his government recently, that we should be humble with humility and then do all manner of good to the people. We shouldn't be power drunk and arrogant. And then coming to Parliament, you know, Annor Dompreh he's a leader, and then it's a minority chief whip, and then he's discharging his duty at the presence of Parliament. So you came in the presence of Parliament and then throw those words to a leader. It's very unfortunate, and then we condemn it in an unacceptable term. So we are actually urging the lady in question to render an unqualified apology to the minority chief whip as well as Parliament as a whole, because most of the time people denigrate. When you look order 3032, I mean, if they cite you for contempt of Parliament, this committee have all the powers, like High Court, to actually go into this matter and then deliver judgment on it. But because the privileges committee is not in place, we are giving, because she's a lady, and we are actually urging her to do the needful. And then the speaker will be inviting her on Thursday, and then go into the issue at the end of the day. And then the speaker will temper maybe justice with mercy. So I'm using your medium to actually urge the lady to do the needful, because her words are distasteful, and then, I mean, they are not words you should use on our fellow human being. There should be decorum, there should be respect to Parliament as well as the parliamentarians.
Such comments, do they have any impact? If there are, what are some of the key impacts of such comments on the activities of Parliament?
You know, such utterances tarnish the image of Parliament as well as parliamentarians, as if anybody can come and then throw any word, insulting words on us and go free, which is supposed not to. You can't go to High Court and in the face of the judge to go and insult the judge and go free. I mean, so it's not right. despite everything, I mean, Parliament is an arm of government on each one, and then as well as despite, even if it is minority, even despite their minority, that doesn't give him the locus to go ahead and insult our fellow colleagues. Despite we are minority and majority, we are colleagues. And then what he did to the chief whip, if it was melted to me, I will not be happy about it. So we urge her to do the needful.
Now, I did have dream a situation where Ghana have politics now equalization. We be nana. So we share okasa okoka Annor Dompreh de akokasa Annor Dompreh no can be into Obana can be a nyashia. It's wrong because one Obano kroni parliament and a parliament no mudi omagro no unim se utie story no ehwemu ya the accounts amanfo so e man say bra Dr. Omaniboama ete ho na Emeafa yite ne nchen e na Annor Dompreh e approach Omaniboama na nkasa no woko ne nchen ne na akoye na oka so we na de monvert maami you like Emeafa na sem no okay and was we na de ye invert no. And you know, omo agro no omo ayi a omo di. Nti so aka sa akra na wo tenchen a wo ne ye bebeti no aka se ye inveti wo na. Sabi o Annor Dompreh kra need to me kra say, oh, the woman lacks emotional intelligence. Because Annor Dompreh kra need to me so obetumi aka say ye inveti wo throughout. But o kana sa wo ne Omaniboama with that yisi enye we. Ehwa na ubu afum kra mo inveti amunya mo ye hwan. Mo ye micro minority. I say I don't know, Kasa Echremisa. Then I will deal with you in public too. You see, a me situation where me who say, Obawi, meaning so I am running for, or a lawyer ni, right? Me who's a lawyer ni. Now, every dese parliament, a mayor wohono, I imagine some be hauling on be friend, Abba, abitchin him. Menya that indication so some be friend between him because they were no and same fata and I like it say mayor parliament so and support sadi but I believe say say Haruna Idrisu de na NDC ababe gina actually say Haruna we betray NDC party no they have made that comment we betray NDC party no across the capital ko support to the minority it why in your logical sense no de mami ye no eye and yi nyina ye push see mama kwan na ma so mrembi na wo asoba wo bambi na saa suban we any a hantan sei and na wo di begina mema anim adidi mema edi mema anim aye fam sei dia na ne na mo pa kire sei so it's wrong and we go man nyina anim ase. So a man no nyina no enka mum condemn we kire say sabio menim tete anya ne fie because your culture ni mu de yenim se de ani de ma be ma mfa won se de sitie bia eso de ani de ma be ma but getting to this extent no very shameful and I think that Haruna Idrisu was right condemning it any say NDC for na attack Haruna Idrisu they are saying we betray omo party no why say which betrayal is it say we betray saying the woman must apologize because culturally or you're wrong o kosa asemi kra no Omaniboama e kan we see invert we ya o can asem o koso so aye den these are not indications of emotional intelligence I say wotimi hu say baby a waduru no kra na keso wo hye ne ho so
o kra de wo gu John Mahama ni maase
members of the panel committee that obia a bit different in fact a marty through a war panel committee now so omu nyina bakutu banim ebe palm chow a run to pacho but interestingly opia all con opia conclave engagement no be pacho all con there were people on the corridor so no nim na ni register parliament what Mr. Wado for one more there were people on the corridor and on science car west so medina tem you person we be omunye
after obepa wo tell no
onia me Christiani Pentecost ni mapa ye chrebe nyamiso ani ye chreme no kwadie me kan some enkasa bia some na sanji me kan ye gu ewure na enani mu ase in fact in 24 echecho ho amugina corridor no so there any poor hobby free no onim so omunim me because can west in fact and no the pursue be on the car so no in fact I me activate the appropriate orders now how to pay him myself I said in my reality as I said any year the catcher lawyer the back court I couldn't have behaved like that towards her a court And she must come to terms to say that she belongs to the GBA, Ghana Bar Association. The Ghana Bar Association also has a code of conduct. I will be our lawyer, Emeafa. You cannot conduct yourself like this in public. It brings the association and the profession itself into dispute.
Now, Babesia, a Biwano, a Dibema Tem say, na party need the Sama Catcher say, Obao, Bemo, Akolao, Penio, Atem Didier, and Omdicobia Fruma. But honorable Annor Dompreh, me pedewea, we dino, watch say yes, or your papa, oh, fie. Watch we are seeing, I say yes, or your papa, or ba papa, oh, fie. And also, oh, cassetia, now what cassetia, yere. A walk a can I won't feel no. Respect our one, what's your times 100 account. Na mame oba adwuma no pebe ma bia di natem a sanka wukunu ofie na ka say wonni wukunu atem first because onabo Annor Dompreh no so ne yire e wo fie oba papa bi oba pa e wo fie but NPP party na mo ye guy ma kire say yes yetetem na aya yenye mo
Ghana fo me say answer benken su be si ni trias no ne wa asase ayede aka kire no enti ense wa duagi de hye pa na ne de oba besie e twa boni sey minority cheap pa na oba besie e de nani ma ye fom sa no Ghana fo we di ankoye na answer metwa me komo no so be se fa answer ye dey fa wonsa back man so yes fa wonsa back man so man nyame ya who we bia prasa no na do se bia so ye dey afro me na wasa atras here 2028 still possible. Ghana for still possible. But say Ghana for munim DS. Obana anya the first time you know. Me see odi atem o what it? Odi atem pa what it? Me see odi atem da. Me see oba we odi atem pa what it? Me see Ghana for the we again you see subanya. Wo de mun ko busa. Me de we girl mami, we ye woman, we ye girl. Girl we ye de we see subanya no. Wo de mun sa say wa ko banga akoko da na e ale. Mudi musa the same. Wako bank and me or back or con the uncle back or con Bema Montana. Mumusano, a leg. Messi with the Mumusano. Get in the Subai. Yeah. Now, Omurio, get Omurio because you are down honor. You are down honor. Warning whining a minority children. What wouldn't the Odi? Wouldn't the Odi? Oba was in the giant crew. Aquatempra. Na mumusa mo Kwakye say di obedi ngetin di obeja no eye ne de no di obeja no okuno eye ne de no e di NDC fo amunya pause no o ma cha mo o yeah ya de kwasiafo and the pre to me and anyansafo aye dey enjoy mesi mumusa say di obeja no na okuno ho ntoparo ne de no e di entre oba besie parliament na kuduro no wako yes ebi etiro ba be sepa be twenya kudu no adi atem hwe na de ye tete ne say wo wie no ofetire e koso nan pa ajo pa ne ntu wo bu Ghana fo man nyani mase what say Ghana fo man na chance na Ghana fo ma so no die ebe ma mo be ye ama ye hu se mo no mu ni atem ye ma mpo so mo de po be ye mu be ye aduma ni atem ye nti mo ma mo hu so Ghana for ma, me free Ghana for me. Money demonstration in Tiago. Me come here, me come here demonstration. Yes, a demonstration. Yes. And the attempt away politics. Just a guy. And penny for the Ghana sika. It's your mokano. Tell me, yes, you am. I am the mamu to you for you be the checker. It brings the Nina. Yes, you be jai. Yes, it's Ghana for penny for moody attempt. Moody attempt politics. And I never mama. O pemu na so odi etenya de bia gawe obeyi na gawe enya de bia obey de obeyi na say o pemu na nkata that me can say this election is about economy to be way say it me dia me say sasi wona de amana no won deserve so metra ho anya say workers for am won be aduma ye ma mu due wo gan wo mu But she don't can couple. How no you do watch it. Oh, ye mu be a NPP for what ye hell no you do as my dear president. What is your money free? what she say, every you do say, oh, my many papa. I want to tell you. I know about you, or about you. Only my many papa. Nani moon jet. Messing any moon jet. Yes, NDC member in Napa, we are too big about them. And it's any shop, Nani sorry. Now, second Suban way. With them who call for the Suban soon. Or bad and inside.
I don't press any meter, I don't press it to maybe. And then Hardcastle say, I don't pray silly boy, or you silly boy, you silly man, or you silly boy. I go for it to so I don't pray when I'm a military man 20 do it. As on Kwan go Kroma say. And then appointment committee in MET over the defamatory comment made by Baka Oliver Foma. Mui Nana Emeafa Hardcastle any interview and what describe NPP as the micro minority. I don't pray with him, and I'll catch you with Muni Mike in if you are no stop interview. No, and Hardcastle say, am I talking to you? I'm doing my interview, and I don't press I will deal with you. So, friend, people say we a micro minority. And why they attempt the chassis? They seem so few are Cassiel. We did not don't pretend bassa. I can't say, we silly boy, not even a man. But you man not want to. Was I not don't play a boy? We silly, or a boy. I was saying, Yandine, Nadina consume. I don't pray. I have already tell you. Say, I didn't also commenting on this one. You say a privilege being when you're at parliament. At this 9th parliament and count.
Abusian for update. Lawyer Emeafa Hardcastle versus Annor Dompreh yesterday. Made the full story, bro. Watch I say. Before I say anything, let me establish that where the name I mean you see say Annor Dompreh is silly. No, it was uncalled for. Let's establish that. But another side of the story is that before I mean you see some word, no, there was a trigger somewhere that nobody is talking about it. Urim Zenramo verted Dr. Maneboama. The vetting took almost 4 hours. At then, more vetting manakwaji Ukraine, Russia, and Tokana Beku and answer. You understand? To Moko break and a man is oh, Mwache, Munyanamu, Moon vetting and Ayanko. We have been here for so long. If we are not on Pranoa, we are not going to vet him today. You people haven't seen anything yet. And a man said, what? To me, Ben, I will micro, mini, micro minority. To me, Ben, I will say you are not going to vet Dr. Maneboama. And not dear Buffone bar, you know. And you see, nobody is talking about that. They are not Dompreh, and a year genus will say. Annor Dompreh. And you are not Dompreh, and Cassiel Mahama say, or ye curse on Ghana. And you know, curse any silly. Which one is more dangerous? Omanga say one be pass drop be sin one pass shot that on nam ho. And they use word ketua we silly keke e ma wono ubuafu with the form go wo nine 70 asie. You understand what I'm talking about? And ya Annor Dompreh na ye to aba okotwin to asame jemfi kura be kan ho asem.
As for Annor Dompreh, who has shot one of our supporters in the thigh, he himself shooting, you don't worry. 7 January is not far. The day of accountability is coming.
And you know, and as I say, as Annor Dompreh, ya yene baby last be our Parliament House on a ye massaging a ye jijin so ana mina menti asie. The same Annor Dompreh na and say different Annor Dompreh bi wa baby. Eh? And now Annor Dompreh na ayi adie ketua bi no ne Afenyo Markin omodi aduru ayi Supreme Court. And yet the same Annor Dompreh na.